to wake my mind from the slumber.
Hey, what up? It's your boy Saint, and thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you. I love you. This is another episode of the Godism series. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Leave me a comment. Thumbs up. You already know. We're about to jump into this. Love and light, y'all. So, two experiences going on this planet right now. One, 3D, matrix, standards, rules and regulations, things have been set before you even got here. How about that? Collectives that have created a matrix system of fear, of judgment, of lower vibrations that have been set before you got here. And then we got the fourth dimensional field where you've had before you even got here. Alright? So we got the normal human being living his normal life, doing the normal things, mundane stuff, work, getting a family, buying the house, buying the car, living his life in the matrix, right? And then we also got people that are just enjoying life, you know, saying, hey, this is what we're here for, this is the experience, alright? This is the experience. We're here to enjoy life, and we're here to drink, we're here to smoke, we're here to party, we're here to take drugs, we're here to do whatever we need to do. Then we got the fourth dimensional being, which is tapping in to his fourth dimensional self, whether it's via crystals, whether it's via meditation, whether it's via eating right, drinking right, thinking right, using affirmations, all of these things, alright? Now, some people would say that being the gods that we are, we came onto this planet for the experience of the human being. And some would say that we came here to go back into our higher dimensional selves. And I'm here to say that no experience is a bad experience. Even the experience of going back to your higher dimensional self is an experience that you signed up to do. It's not bad, it's not wrong. You know, like, but we already are gods, and why would we want to go back to our higher selves? Why would we? It's an experience that you signed up for, and it's a good, okay, beautiful, blissful, amazing path. If you came here and you are caught up in a whole lot of matrix stuff, you're still sleeping, caught up in a lot of matrix stuff, that's an experience on its own. Actually, let me add one more to it. If you are in the middle path where you caught up with the world and the things of the world, and you're also still tapping in to your higher dimensional self, you're tapping in to your fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional self, you're still tapping in, you're still meditating, you're trying to do whatever you can do, that's an experience that's valid as well. Every experience is a good experience. Every experience is the way it should be. All experiences. Yes, you might move on a timeline, and in the future you might drift, or you might resonate with another frequency and change. It's okay to change. It's evolution. Don't hold yourself back into one thing. Like if you playing around in the world and you're doing things in the matrix and everything, and you caught up with so much confusion, alright? You caught up in this belief that you are but just a human being, because you know a lot of people are caught up in that. A lot of people will tell you, hey, I'm going through this, that, and that, and that, and they so believe it that they're going through it. You look at it and you're like, at this God. Look at this God that believes they are powerless. Look at this God that believes they have no favor. Look at this God that believes that they are not creating their own reality. A lot of people will believe that because they're caught up in the third dimension. They're caught up in the matrix. Alright? So a lot of people are caught up in that. And it's okay for them to be caught up in that until they're awakening. Until you awaken. Now the crazy part is when you awaken and you start playing around in the lower frequencies. Now that's just crazy. But it's an experience altogether. But it's crazy, right? You awaken and you know you are God. You know that you're creating your own reality. You know that this is your purpose. And you're still playing around, or you're dumbing yourself down to play around with other people in their frequencies. Stand firm and stand in your sovereignty vibration. Alright, you don't have to dumb it down, you don't have to change, you don't have to do nothing. Just stand in it, and what resonates with you will resonate, and you keep going. And if anything doesn't resonate with you anymore, it will just break off. It'll fade away. People in your life, jobs, everything. You don't have to be caught up in that. You don't have to be holding on to something that has served its purpose and moved on. Alright? So there's all these choices, all these experiences, and every one of these experiences is a right experience, is an okay experience, is a blissful experience, is an exciting experience for the person. See, a lot of us are so high dimensional. A lot of us are on the fourth dimension tapping into the fifth dimension. A lot of us are on the fifth dimension tapping into the fourth dimension. You know, a lot of us are on these frequencies. A lot of us are on the third dimension tapping into the fourth dimension. A lot of us are on that, and what happens is we start to judge people that are on the third dimension, and we start to try to force them to live in the fourth dimension or to tap into the fourth dimension. So we try to put our frequencies, our mindsets, our emotional growth, because you remember, you've grown to become who you are. You went through things to get you to where you are right now. And they might have not gone through the things that you've gone through to get you to where you are right now. They are probably still playing in those paradigms, playing in those frequencies, and they need to learn their lessons in order to level up, in order to get to where you are. So even in a relationship, they could be still playing around in low vibrations, and you could be getting pissed off and butting heads all the time and being in all these conflicts all the time because you're trying to put them in the frequency, in the place that you are, the timeline, the path that you are on. And they just not on that timeline, and they're not on that path that you are. You gotta understand that. You gotta understand that you can't lower your frequency in order to be in their frequency. And they can't higher or raise their frequency to be in your frequency if the time is not right for them, if the lessons have not been learned or taught to them. You know, if they did not go through that shedding and that breaking off of all the lower frequencies, they can't raise their frequency to get, or if they have not made the choice to do so. That'll be a better one. That's a better one. If they have not made the choice to do so. If they still feel like what they're doing and the things they're playing in is beneficial to them, excites them and makes them happy, it's not your role to smother them. It's not your role as a light being, as a way shower, as a star seed, or as a light soldier. That's a new one I'm going to go with. As a light soldier. Because you're in the front line of this war, right? You're in the front line of raising the frequency. You're in the front line of anchoring the light. You're in the front line of of all of these dimensional planes right now. You're in the front line of evolution. You are a light soldier. It is not your place to, one, bring them along with you. If you're moving forward, just focus on yourself, please. Like, focus on yourself. Focus on your self-love. Focus on your... A lot of us are tying ourselves with a lot of other people. Okay? Focus on yourself. You don't have to force anyone to meditate. You don't have to force anyone to eat right. You can say it out. Hey, meditate. Hey, eat right. But you can't force that onto anyone. You can't force it onto a third dimensional person who's playing around in 3D vibes to tell them, you can't do that, you need to do this. You can't do that. You can't stop them from living their life and their blueprint. You can only mention these things to them. Can't force it. I'm not going to try to put it down your throat right now. I'm just mentioning what's there. And you can choose your path. You can choose to say, alright, now I'm still going to have my experience and live the way I'm living and do what I'm doing. You know, live for the 3D, because the 3D is going to fade. The 3D is going to leave you behind when you leave this vessel behind. Because this vessel is the 3D car or chariot. When you leave that behind, you actually left the 3D dimension behind and you're shifting into higher frequency. So you can carry on playing around in 3D, and that's an experience that's valid, and that's an experience that you can have. It's cool. It's not a problem at all. No judgment from someone that is of a 4th dimension or 5th dimension. No judgment, because we look at it as someone who's living their best life. Someone who's we intervene when you're going through things, all right, where we can help, we help. But if you having the most amazing time of your life, if you out there drinking and smoking and doing whatever you want to do and partying and going crazy and you love it and you're excited and you're happy and I always say follow your excitement. So I'm not gonna be there to tell you about higher dimensional stuff and smother you and tell you, nah, stop doing that, do this. I could tell you, hey, I'm doing this. I can show. That's what a way shower is. She shows the way. Don't force the way. I don't come and pick you up with an Uber. I don't do none of that. I show you the way. You follow. That's what these light soldiers are doing right now. We're showing the way. And if you want to follow, pick up your stuff and follow. Leave your baggage behind and follow. Leave the lower vibration, the judgment behind, the envy behind, the ego and all of these things. Leave it behind. Those things no longer serve you when you're ready to go into a higher frequency. The things that used to be your crutch, the drugs and the cigarettes and the smoking, the alcohol and all of these things that used to be your crutch, that used to bring you out of the sadness or bring you out of life's craziness and all of those stuff that you're going through right now, no longer serves you when you start living your life on a higher dimensional frequency, because you are genuinely tapping into unconditional love for yourself, for others, and for the life that you're living. You are in appreciation at all times, so you're always vibrating at a high frequency when you're on the 4th dimension and higher. You always, so you don't need anything to... I was with someone recently and they told me that I would leave everything, all that I'm doing, if I could feel this love that you're giving me right now all the time, if I can feel this happy and this excited, so happy that I'm flicking my legs, missing you so much, excited to be with you so much, if I can feel this, I'll leave all the crap that I'm doing, because this is the biggest, the most amazing high ever. And that's what's up. That's what I'm telling you. If you're living at a higher frequency, you'll be happy all the time. even when shit hits the fan and you feel like this is not going right and all of that, you still will be happy all the time, because you appreciate all of those things, because you look at them as lessons and you look at them as methods of growing you. But it's not your place to force someone to come with you, along with you. Not your place to judge people for being at the place that they are. Put this off. Not your place at all to do any of that. Not your place to stop someone from living their path, living their excitement. They choose, you choose which path you want to be on. You choose. If you awaken, then you're an awakened path. It is what it is. It's hard for you to go back into the 3D when you truly awaken. And it's hard for someone to come from the 3D and believe the things that are on the 4D when they're so blind and their third eye is so closed. All you can do is let them know, and hopefully it sparks some godly memory in them. Hopefully it sparks, or maybe all you can do is just be you, and being blissful and being loving and being in that vibrational frequency, so they can feel that frequency and be like, oh wow, there's something about this person that is bringing up something inside of me. And you can spark their godly memory and shift them into awakening. Alright? But you can't be forcing anyone. And you can't be frustrated and angry at the people that still choose to stay. You can't be at, where was that? Sodom and Gomorrah, right? In the Bible, where people were having fun and partying and all of that, and God chose the few to leave the place and said, don't look back, right? You can't be looking back at that. You can't be trying to force people that don't want to leave the things that they're doing. All you can do is move on. All you can do is be you. All you can do is stand sovereign in your own vibration. And for those that are in between, tapping into the high frequencies, tapping into the low frequencies, you know, you got to have discernment. You have to be aware of what you're doing at all time. Be aware of who you are. Because of course you're going to be going through a lot of emotional turmoil in terms of, I'm feeling this way, but I know I'm a God and I'm supposed to be feeling that way, and it's going to be a lot of confusion for you. But it's okay. It all takes steps towards who you truly are. Everything takes steps, and no experience is a bad experience. And as soon as you take that into consideration, that no experience is a bad experience as a fact, you'll stop judging people if you are on a higher frequency. That's automatic, actually. And you be you no matter what. And for those in between, you'll just keep on going, knowing that whatever you're doing is exactly what you should be doing. And whenever you shift, you'll shift, and that'll be exactly the time that you should be shifting. You don't have to be trying to forcefully get to enlightenment. Take it gradually, the way you have been. Do what you've been doing and just be solid about it. For those who are in the world doing what they're doing and living their life, allow them to be them. Allow them to live that. You probably live that as well. You probably live that lifestyle as well. You're probably done with it. This is your next lifetime. Who knows? This is probably your 10th lifetime that you've become this aware and this awakened. You can't be forcing people, though. You can't be fighting with people. That's not fifth dimensional. That's not a higher perspective of things. You gotta step back and look at the picture. You gotta step back and take your emotions of what you expect out of it. Alright? What you expect out of it. You need to take a step back and look at it from the higher perspective. Look at it from the godly perspective and say, look at that God experiencing its life the way it wants to experience its life, making its choices the way it wants to make its choices, learning the lessons that it wants to learn. You gotta look at it like that. Whether it's a family member, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's the things that you don't even want in a relationship from the person. You there, if it doesn't resonate with you, there's two choices. One choice, you let go of the relationship, because letting go will put you back in your happiness. Because now you're fighting and butting heads and stuff, and you're trying to force this person to be on your frequency, and you can't do that. Because in that time of you forcing the person, you're trying to stop them from being happy. You're trying to stop them from living their life. You're trying to stop them from being at a high frequency, because a high frequency comes from happiness, excitement. And if they're doing that via any outlet that they choose to do it via, they're still on a higher frequency, and you're trying to smother them. So you need to step back and look at it from the godly perspective, observer perspective, and say, look at them living their life. They living their life the way they want to live their life, and they're happy the way they're living their life. And if you choose to be in their life, you need to stay at your frequency, stay at your vibration, maintain your frequency and maintain your vibration. And when you maintain that, then you won't be judging them, you won't be arguing with them, you'll be happy for them for doing whatever they're doing. That's when you're truly living out from your heart, because you love them unconditionally and you're happy for them no matter what they're doing. A lot of us are just out here judging people. A lot of us are not accepting, we don't accept the paths people are taking. It's fine, you don't have to accept it. You don't have to include yourself in it. That's their own path. But you need to love them unconditionally. That's fifth dimensional. You can't go into fifth dimensional frequency without that. You have to love them unconditionally. So if you're still judging people and you're still living out of that ownership vibes, where you want to own things and own people's lives and own their choices and decisions, and you're still not in the fifth dimensional frequency, you're probably still tapping into thought, you're still in and out. So you're the center person that I was talking about, that has so much turmoil, because you know who you are and you know you're God, but you're trying to force other people to be gods. You're trying to force other people to live the way you expect them to live. And if people are not even, maybe you're not, maybe if people are living the way they're living, it's affecting you, and you feel like they shouldn't be living the way they, you're in the center. Only when you shift out of those emotions, you become one of these two paths. You become the 3D or the fourth dimensional path. The center one is the in-between. It's one circle, consciousness, four dimensional. That's 3D, 4 dimensional. That's what happens. You're in between. You're tapping in. But once you become fourth dimensional, this is what my cousin was even telling me the last time. Once you become fourth dimensional, the 3D matrix paradigm disappears. Now you've anchored into fourth dimension. You seeing things from, you speaking things, you feeling things, you tapping into things from the fourth and only the fourth. So your perception is totally fourth dimensional. But while you're in between, just have discernment to always make the right choice to wherever you want to go. Because every experience is a valid experience. And every experience shouldn't be judged as a bad experience. Whether you're trying to be the best human being possible and living the third dimensional, or whether you're trying to be the God and reverting back to your godlism, you're trying to remember your godlism, you're trying to be that light soldier, or whether you're trying to figure out where you're at in the center, all valid, all awesome, all amazing. You are a God experiencing this experience. Whether you know it or not, whether you're sleeping or you're awake, you are still a God. So live your life in excitement. Follow the things. Don't do things that that don't resonate with you, things that make you feel crap. Don't be forcing things. I mean, if you want to awaken, do the things and excite. I know people that are in between, right? And they still choosing a lot of 3D things, but they look at the 4D, right? And they look at the Buddhas and the enlightened beings, and they're like, oh, I want to do that. I want to so do that. You know, that's where my heart lies. But you're still playing around in 3D things. Like, you know, follow your excitement. And wherever your excitement is, you need to be you can't be in denial. If 3D is your excitement, own it and say, yeah, and for now 3D is my excitement, and when I do evolve, I'll evolve, and I'm open to evolving. Don't be like, oh, that's my excitement there, oh my god, it looks so amazing, that's my excitement, I love that, but oh, let me just fiddle a little bit in here. If that's your excitement, follow your excitement, because that's what you're here for. That's the one key for you to fulfill or to enter into completion and enter into your purpose. The one key that you have on this, the one roadmap, the one compass that you have on this planet is your excitement. Anything that excites you, keep stepping towards that thing. Anything that you feel so much love from and so much appreciation from, keep stepping towards that thing. And when it stops doing that for you, step towards the next thing that excites you. No expectations, just following that. No fear attached to you. Nothing. Just keep following your excitement, and that is your purpose. That will lead you to the place that you need to be. Speak to the person you need to speak to, meet the people, whatever it is, and get you to abundance and get you to whatever lessons you need to learn. Everything. Just keep following your excitement. Every path that you choose, any path that you choose, is valid, and it's important, and it's powerful, and it's amazing, and it's exactly what you should be doing if it's in alignment with your excitement. If it's in alignment with your heart, that's where you should be going. Love and light. Thank you so much for being here. It's your boy Saint. Hit me with a subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit me with a like. Hit me with a comment below. Let me know what you think about this video. Alright? It's just something that I'm going through right now, and it's something that came through from my higher self. You know, I just felt like, you know, you need to detach yourself from lower frequencies and look at it from a godly perspective if you're on that, and don't try to change other people's excitements to match yours. You know, allow them to follow their own excitements, and you can be a guide for them and be there for them as they go on that journey, but you can't force them out of it. You know, at least they would come to a day where they do see the light and be like, oh yeah, okay, cool, I'll follow that now because this person's always been here. This is what I want, this is what excites me. But if they choose that, it'll be a choice of, this is what makes me happy right now, that is what I want to do right now, and I want to make him happy because it makes me happy. I want to make him feel excited because it makes me feel excited to make him excited, you know what I mean, or make her excited. That's what it should be. It shouldn't be, I'm going to do that just for that person, or sacrifice that just for that person, because that's not what it's about. Even you as a godly being, you shouldn't be saying, I'm going to lower my vibes, or getting, you know, force someone or be in arguments with someone just to, you know, be in that place with them. Be in your place. Be in your sovereignty. Stand in your happiness and your excitement, and be the light for them whenever they want to step out of whatever they want to step out of. But don't force them to change. Don't force them to smother their happiness and their excitement, their experience on this planet, their path on this planet. Don't force them to do that. Allow them to be on their own journey. Allow them to learn their own lessons, right? You can only tell them, hey, this is hot. If you touch here, you're gonna get burnt. But you can't force them not to touch there. You know what I mean? You can't. You're gonna leave the kitchen to eat anyway, and they're gonna be in the kitchen one day, and they might just touch it to see if it is hot. You know, allow them to learn their own lessons. Allow them to grow in their own way. Allow them to do whatever you do. Do what you do. Drop a video, man. You know, drop a status. Drop a meme. Do whatever you have to do to show that love, but don't be pounding it into them. Don't be forcing them. Don't be doing that. That's not what makes people change. Actually, that's what makes people think that you are a know-it-all and you acting you big-headed and you that's what it does. It doesn't make people change and it doesn't even show love anyway. That's not love. Love is unconditional. Love loves anyone the way they are and loves what they are, just the way they are. That's God right there. That's God. Every path is valid. Every path is amazing. Okay. Love and light. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. And I send you all high vibrations. Those high vibrations that make you smile. Connections to the multiverse, connections with your higher selves. I love you all.